reflections, ghosts in the cold. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it, come drag me into the void. Let my circuits decay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. You never
come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Can you hear me now? Good, good. We can hear me now. Perfect, perfect. Oh my God, this morning has been an interesting Stream Deck / Stream Labs. Last minute, everything was going nuts. All right, so that works. Get my music rolling here. Music. There we go. Good gravy. We shouldn't be muted anymore. You guys can't hear me. Streamlabs says it's outputting my mic. It wasn't at first, but it says it is now, so you guys should hear everything. You hear music, you hear me, hopefully. Let me just run through these scenes quick here. Hold the phone. Let's see. Thanks. Screen capture, me and screen capture, live, intro, countdown, back to me. Okay, everything's working there. Had to reconfigure that last minute for no reason. That just wasn't working. Oh, man. Computer life, boys. Computer life. Stick to console for games. I'm serious. The experience might overall be a little bit lesser on console, but the simplicity and the smooth side of things, it's undefeated. Anyway, what's up, everybody? What's going on, Jurassic? What's going on, Slick? What's going on, AJ? What's going on, Craig? All right. So today we're going to be focusing on doing some PMR ranked racing. I'm going to be showing off my skill issues. And we're going to be sort of just experiencing and chatting about ways that we can make ranked better. You know, I think we already have a pretty good idea as to what we can do. But for the sake of, you know, streaming, let's give it a theme. Let's give it a theme. Also, I'm learning real quick that I just in general don't like sim racers. Oh my God, a whole bunch of know-it-alls with no experience that know everything because someone else said something one time that has more paper than they do. Holy shit. Anyway, PMR, let's go. Oh man. I feel like I've done life opposite. I feel like I did all the real racing first, and then getting into sim racing later on to just sort of like relax and have a good time with life was the opposite move. Because throughout the years, I've like come to learn a lot of different things about a lot of different motorsports, And everything about nothing, or I shouldn't say everything about nothing, that was the wrong way to say it. I haven't learned everything about everything. That would be a total lie. No one knows everything. But I've learned a lot in the past 20 or so years in motorsports. And I'm fortunate enough to have been involved with it. The amount of people that have never went outside and touched grass that are telling me how wrong I am about something and how realistic something is because somebody else says something is realistic and they've driven XYZ one thing in real life. I'm so fucking tired of hearing it, man. Holy shit, that's what it is. Sim racers are a bunch of old wives that know everything. Anyway, multiplayer. It's mental, man. It's absolutely mental. These are all video games and none of them are realistic. You all need to accept that. When someone tells me what sense of speed is, when they've never experienced a sense of speed, because they've never been to speed, holy shit. Anyway. I think we're going to start off with an Evo race. Very unrealistic car in this game. Way too much grip. LMU says these cars are not realistic. So, we're gonna play these cars. Also, I think the liveries, I have them in. They're not official yet, but I do have some streetcar-esque liveries coming. I can tell you it's scarier in a car than it is a bike. Bikes are actually disgustingly, like my boost at 230 is a joke. It's a total joke. The scariest part about it is knowing that I'm going that speed and it's not scary. Anyway, this is, these are two of the liveries I've got here. They're essentially just a gray and the blue 400Z, even though they're obviously not 400Zs, but they're built off of a 400Z body. These are not officially in Mod Hub yet, but they will be soon. I also have some, my favorite one, let's get out of ranked quick so I can show you. Actually, no, I can just do it in, why can't I back out of this? What the hell? I'm stuck in the ranked selection screen. It means I gotta select a car, I guess. Let's go to GT. I didn't do it myself. Rally did. The guy who made the what's the car called? I got Rally Wally in my head. So, I had him do the Jetstream Blue ZR1 as a livery. Right here. This is going to be my new favorite GT car. This is as close as he could find to Jetstream Blue. But I'm essentially going to be having him do, probably in the future, a bunch of street car liveries. So street cars essentially would be, obviously, no sponsors. I did have the Simagic put on the nose. I told him to do it very quietly so it didn't stand out like a sore thumb. But we also have it in gray. I believe this is the same gray as the Nissan Z. This is the closest, although I've never owned a ZR1. I wish I did. I've driven them. I never owned one. Potentially one day, when I'm closer to real-life age retirement, I'll be on the hunt for a clean C6 ZR1, because it is one of my top 5s. But this color in particular is my favorite ZR1 color. But this is more of an accurate representation. Actually, it's more the C5, but still. Accurate representation of me. Me sponsoring me. Driving a street car. Even though this is obviously not a street car. It just looks like one. But yeah, this is going to be my go-to. That's right, I got to pick a car. Go back. 23 minutes of that race. We might miss it. I hope these races, I have the feeling they're going to overlap. 9 laps. Yeah, 9 laps on Kiyomi. That's 100%. It's going to be one or the other, which blows. Going to overlap with NGT. Man, all the good races are going to overlap. Son of a bitch. And all the blue in this car is just this car without any sponsors. Same blue. What's going on, Trev? I'm sure I could learn to make deliveries, but I just, again, you underestimate my laziness when it comes to things. There's so many other softwares that I do actually have to learn. Motec, things like that, for example. I don't want to learn Motec. Motec is wildly complicated. You know, but it takes priority. Exactly, Slick. Max ECU, I'm in the process of. I just don't. Going on, ETR. Have I seen the FIA-approved racetrack that a billionaire had built in Bulgaria? I want that mod in the game. I have not seen it, Jurassic. Same with setups. I agree. The problem with the setups, though, is that it's always going to be a, what do you call it? A reactionary style build. And meaning, or, it's not going to be a proactive build. Meaning, the best way to go fast with setups is to learn how to do all the stuff yourself. That way, you can make a change. Once you figure out what component does what in the actual, not what it should or should not do in real life, but what it does in the game. Because you're also relying on the fact that the breakdown of each component in the game is also dead nuts accurate to what it would do in real life. Sometimes, how many times have we seen things in the game so far be the opposite of the way it was? You raise up the car and it goes faster. Like, that's not how height works. It's not how center of gravity works. But it happens. Going on, no tomorrow. So, we have a poll up, too. How can we improve rank racing? We got solo qualifying, we got better punishments for bad driving, more aggressive penalties, and all of the above. So far, better punishments for bad driving is leading with the second two, all of the above. Nobody has voted for more aggressive penalties. And solo qualifying is at 17%. Although that seems to be quite divided. It's so strange to me, though, how opinions constantly contradict themselves in this sim racing bullshit. The amount of people that are preaching realism based off of another sim, like iRacing or LMU, but are against solo qualifying. Motherfucker, those games have solo qualifying. Like, pick. What do you want? If iRacing is going to be the poster child benchmark for sim racing, well, borrow some of it's what it's got. iRacing's been around for 18 years. It's not going anywhere. I would make the argument LMU could go somewhere. LMU, although I don't see LMU going under. I think it's too popular now. But it also hasn't withstood the test of time anywhere near it. It's not been out that long. iRacing has been out for 18 years. If you think about how long iRacing's been around, if you got your wife pregnant when iRacing came out, your kid is now going to college, and the game is still in existence and still being played more than any other sim. It's all young people, too, with no real-life experience, Jurassic. That's the worst part. I constantly am getting told by people who have never left their fucking house what realism is in motorsports. It's brain dead. I can't. It drives me fucking up a wall. Realistically, I shouldn't listen to it. But You try and educate, and it turns into a pissing contest. Because people have already made their minds up. They're not going to listen to you because you're not some fucking guy on YouTube who's raced GT3 cars or some shit like that. So if you haven't raced one specific car that's a popular car, you have no experience in life. Like, imagine how good you are in sim racing dictating your intelligence. You have any idea how many fucking smart people, and this is excluding myself in any level of fluff I'm about to do right now, but like, do you have any idea some fucking geniuses that would do mental gymnastics around your dumbass brain who you would beat in a sim? That know a lifetime worth of fucking skills that you have not even the slightest bit of knowledge to fathom, but because you can beat them in a video game, they don't count. If you think like that, you are the fucking problem, my friend. That's all I'm saying. My engine builder, who builds all my race motors, knows far more about building an engine than almost anybody I know. Couldn't beat me in a race, though. In a real-life race, would not beat me in a race. So should I just discredit his knowledge because he can't beat me in a race, so that guy sucks. You could absolutely beat this Stig, and I could beat this Stig in a sim. But I think it's safe to say Ben Collins could probably kick all of our asses on a track in just about any car he drives. Or we drive. Probably drives a Corolla IRL. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't even blame the consoles thing. It's not even that. My buddy, a good friend of mine who lives a couple miles away, has done more in motorsports than most sim racers. He plays ACC on PS5. Really all he likes. It's all he cares about. The amount of cars he has in his garage alone are more than most sim racers could ever dream of having in a lifetime. And he's 32 years old. So, it's just... I don't know where people get this logic from, where they just regurgitate what someone else says, and they have zero experience. Like, everything, and even the person you're debating with, the person whose information you're using to debate with, every bit of it should be grain of salt. Nobody is going to tell me personally that my experience is wrong based off of the experience that they don't fucking have. And that should be for every subject. That's not racing. That's everything in life. If you know something about something that you have experienced multiple times in life throughout years, and someone with zero experience tells you you're wrong based off someone else's experience, just disregard that argument. The fact that that person doesn't understand their place in that conversation should be reason enough for you to go, it's not even worth entertaining this. Corolla's too nice. There's actually some pretty badass Corollas, I'm not going to lie. Glue Factory today, that's where I want to go. I'll be honest with you. Anyway, so we're going to try and qualify here. We're going to try and qualify. Because I want to experience qualifying in its current state. Because I normally, if I was right now, honestly, if I was ranked racing and putting in effort, I wouldn't even attempt to qualify. I would just sit in the pits and race from the back. Because I know I'm probably going to pass or get wrecked. But if I don't get wrecked, I'm probably going to pass 15 people in the race in lap 1 because they kill themselves. Because they don't know what they're doing. So I know that if I qualify and put myself where I should normally be on the grid, I'm going to get there anyway if I don't qualify. So it really kind of feels pointless, you know? That's the thing. If anybody's experienced any level of real life, they would know every sim is not realistic. But there's a financial bias, and like that's the part I don't understand, how people don't understand that there is a financial bias to saying a certain sim is realistic and others are not. If any of them have a discount code or any of that nature in any of these things, they have a bias. Just try the map? Alright, I'll try the map. Let's take people's advice today. Let's swing outside our, I might even have all the... Yeah, I have all the HUD off anyway, so let's turn on my essentials. Session info, leaderboard, map, radar. Don't need FFB, don't need ECU. Delta, we really don't need, but sure, why not? Penalties are already on. Wheel input, don't need. General notifications, don't really care about the clock. Alright, so where is the map gonna fall? Cockpit setup, HUD. Alright, so my map is... I guess we'll do it here. Try that. I have 2 PS5s. I'm double gross. This guy pass. Let him pass. I will say, I think we need a... If we're gonna do, when I was playing, someone asked me how was the AC Evo update. I did try the AC Evo update this morning. Sebring runs pretty good. The track of Sebring runs good. The problem is the game runs solely dependent on what track you're on. We're going to use the line too. We're going to do all the full-on assist today. We're going to really piss off all of the tryhards. Let's just piss them tryhards off. I'm petty as fuck, boys. Trust me. Anybody who wants to doubt me, just fucking race me in real life. I'll go right downstairs right now and drag your ass through the concrete. I have no problem doing that. If you want me to get petty and bring my ego out, I'll do it. I'm all about it. Let the pettiness flow. My pettiness knows no bounds, trust me. Don't believe me? I'll be at the expo next month. Let's have a conversation. I invite people.
Yeah, we need to get some heat into the tires before you start to go for a fast lap.
Be like right there. Wasn't trying to push him off track. I didn't make contact with him, but he avoided me, and that's on me. Alright. We'll let this guy pass, and then we'll bang a Yui. Clutch kick! But anyway, what's going on, DK? What I was going to say, though, about AC Evo, what made me think about it, was AC Evo, their map is the entire fixed map. The map's not moving or anything like that. It's just there. So you can see where everybody is on the entire track. It's been a minute since I've driven on Kalami with this car. I'm doing terrible right now. Yeah, I'm so off pace. Well, there went my second. Complete second.
Chunk out the splitter. Not serious though. Keep on it.
Are people just like lollygagging and qualifying right now? I know people are going to disagree with me, but I am 100% all for solo qualifying. It's not realistic, though. Shut the fuck up. It's a video game. Quality of life. You're here to have a good time and enjoy your experience. You're welcome to disagree, but stop disagreeing because of realism. It's a fucking video game. Already off the pace. Who gives a shit? I see that right there. That experience alone makes me go, you know what? I'm just going to stay in the pits. I'm just going to stay in the pits until the qualifying session is over. People in the way. It's just, yeah. No time to find any level of rhythm. Tracks are too small for the amount of people that are on the grid. People don't know what they're doing. It's just nonsense. I don't see a point in trying to qualify. My pace, based off of, I'm not as fast as How High, but my pace here is about in the 130s. And I went 132.0, basically because of traffic. And I'm pretty slow on this track overall, but as slow as I am on this track, I'm slower because of random traffic. What is happening? Car is not stock. Mike, yeah, either way, it's the pace is still faster. Yeah, I know, Mike. I know that was you. But I'm actually good on you though for admitting that. The amount of people that would deny that or say it doesn't matter is always, you know. Real life driver side. Is that actually is that punishable, Lincoln? I don't, pardon my F1 ignorance here, but is that a punishable offense? Or is that something that kind of slips through the cracks and is able to get away with it? Yeah, and just so everybody knows here, I'll be only racing default cars. If anybody's wondering, I mean, I've been pretty open about that this whole time. Oh, my car's actually going to be slower because the bug still exists. I had 7.5 gallons in qualifying, now I have 11. It doesn't, it randomly does and does not apply the setups. Devs are aware, but that doesn't solve this patch, this build of the game. Agreed with you, you should qualify on your own. At the end of the day, qualifying is not a race. It never has been, never will be. It's to get properly gridded up to see where you should be on grid. Like I said, qualifying is pointless. Second place off the start. I'm probably going to die now in turn 1. That's one hit. Wasn't too bad of one though, but... I'm seriously, you guys should really spend some time figuring out how to launch the cars. Every car has a certain way to launch it that works out better. I'm just gonna, yeah, go by me, How High, because you got more pace than me, so... Oh, okay. I'll let you in there too, I guess. It's the threat. He's got more pace than me too, so... Fuck! Just go. I also think we need penalties for any level of bumping. You make contact with anybody, you get a penalty. Period. Doesn't matter how... Oops. Accidents happen in real life, but in real life you still get punished for accidents. It's just a lesser punishment. I really need to do some real racing. I need to, like, shake that itch off. I need to get reminded what, like, adrenaline feels like and all the missing things of sim racing to remind me why this is just a fucking video game. Why is this car so loose in the back right now? I drive these cars a lot. I'm having a real hard time keeping the rear end underneath it right now. Maybe I'm just pissed off, and that's making me angry drive. It's quite possible. Quite possible. Yeah, I know. My whole thing, deja vu, is that I just don't care. That's the biggest thing that people don't realize with me is like, if someone's got more pace than me, I'm just going to give them the pass, even in ranked. I don't care. I don't have any ego in the actual, like, the actual racing portion of sim racing. My ego comes out when some no-life tells me I'm wrong about something that they have zero experience with. That's where my ego comes out. But this stuff here, this is purely having a good time. Or trying to have a good time, anyway. Oh, I finished that? Fuck that. Fuck that. So we're 0 for 1 for enjoying ranked so far today, which I kind of knew that. I wasn't even going to stream today, honestly. I'm in like an aggressive mood today. So I wasn't even sure if I was going to stream, but I said, fuck it. You know what? People are going to hear me bitch about people today. Every once in a while, I just got to bitch. I just got to bitch, and today's going to be that day. Do I think more expensive gear makes you faster? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Any level of direct drive, the human brain can get used to just about anything it does. So... Let me go back up and read some comments here. Okay, that's why some of the elitists like it because they use it to their advantage. I had a hunch. Yeah. Should be a safety rating like ACC, then you know if you enter a lobby with low SA ratings, you're ready for some contact. Yeah. There's a lot of missing elements to ranked right now that make it, in my opinion, just I would rather not do it. I mean, I would rather, in this game's defense, I'd rather not race ranked in any game. I think it brings out the worst driving tactics. The everyone's ego is now on the table. It makes the worst kind of racing, in my opinion. I definitely know that the slower drivers are expected to get off the racing line if they're not setting a quali. Lose the ass from second to third. You shouldn't lose the ass from second to third in these cars unless you're already spinning going into third. But if you have traction in second gear, you shouldn't spin going into third gear, ever. Even on cold tires. I was to the boards right there. So I literally, when I launched the car right there, I put it on the limiter in first, slapped the clutch. It immediately spins the tires up. I completely back off the throttle, put it in second gear, get back on the throttle, and I've dead hooked in second gear, and I go. The only reason I even start in first gear is to get the tires spinning super easy, so that the car will accelerate a little bit, and I'll get out of a bogging situation. True, because I'll never be able to race. Is that closest thing? Yeah. I mean, I imagine from an immersion standpoint, VR is going to probably feel pretty amazing. Harry, yes, I have access to that. I'm probably not the best test mule for it, though. But it does work. You have to know how to allow it to make you faster. I'm saying how tires work in racing. Now, I'm just having a good time, Denny. I'm telling you guys, you need to vent. Venting is good for you. Even if it's a no-life loser that I'm never going to meet in real life, because that's the reality of it. 99.99% of the people that ever flap their gums at you, you're never going to meet them in real life. They're never going to be more than white noise. But, every once in a while, just audibly bitching and relieving some of that nonsense feels good. I'm doing this for me, respectfully. The way some of the bigger channels push it, you would think so, wouldn't you? Well, it's weird that you say that. It's almost like some of the people that have raced cars in real life push their personal favorite sim because they make money off of that sim. No. No. Monetization affecting opinions? No. Similar times with my Simagic and G923. Exactly. If I go play on my PS5 and my RS50, I run the same times as I do with all my expensive gear. Here's where this is objectively speaking here. Well, it's it's subjectively speaking, but I feel like it's pretty objective. I am no faster on any of my Simagic stuff in my PC. None. Zero. Nada. I have zero performance advantage with this more expensive, fancier shit. Where it is better is the immersion side of things. I feel like my shifter, my H pattern feels like a real car's H pattern. The new Logitech one, even though it's brand new and they had all those years to make it, still feels somewhat like a toy. A lot of that stuff is where you pay for it. A lot of where the money goes up. But as far as how fast you go, no. No. You get used to a G923, you're not going to be any slower on that. I'll make a launch video, that would be cool. Yeah, maybe one day. Maybe I will. No, it wasn't that stuff. It was in the main Trev, the main sort of one where people go from, you know, having conversations about like actual games and what makes games this or that to straight up just, you know, personalized style insults. And that's where, like, listen, if we're going to go down that road, let's actually go race in real life. Let's stop fucking talking about video games right now. Right now. I have vehicles in my garage about 15 feet from me to go fuck you up on the real road. Let's do it. Let's do it. But if not, play your video game and shut up. You might be faster in the video game, and that's fine. I'm not taking that away from you. But don't talk shit. But do not talk shit. The Charlie Wally on High Rock yesterday, man, that would have fun. Good, I'm glad you guys liked it. It's great when a lot of guys can have a whole lot of fun in modding. The diehard sim guys don't understand that. Fictional on top of fictional, oh, that's you can't be doing that. That's going to affect my real life sponsorship chances. Ain't nobody trust me, nobody in my actual line of work in motorsports actually wants to race either. People just want to talk. Trust me. Trust me. The last person who was, like, super audible about this on the internet, when it came to real life, they traveled all the way from California and lost a lot of money. But as far as the CPU, what I noticed is that with a full grid of 32 cars, I didn't really notice CPU, which it is technically CPU utilization, but it's bottlenecking more than anything else. Whereas in my case, my CPU was no longer bottlenecking my GPU. Meaning if I ran 32 car grid with my hardware, before on this current build, you'll see my GPU drop to like 70-75% with 32 car grid, and my CPU stays at about 50%. Whereas now, my CPU, or by now, I'm saying the testing, CPU stays at about 50%, but my GPU parks at 100%, and my frame rate goes way up with a full grid. Now, with no cars on the grid, there's no difference. It's only going to be CPU utilization advantages are only going to be like on the software side are only going to be noticeable when you hit a CPU bottleneck. If you're not CPU bottlenecked, you're really not going to get anything out. Like if you see your GPU running at 100%, I call it duty cycle or usage, then you're really not in a situation where the CPU is holding you back. If you see your GPU drop in usage, that's your CPU holding it back. What's the good lap times in this week's GT3 races? I haven't gotten the slightest clue. I don't make any liveries, but anything you see with EJR Racing, I've had made. I think I'm going to stick to GT Racing. These cars on Kilami, not my personal favorite. And I'm only going to do what I want to do. That's the reality of it. So, although it's on Spa, that's the only thing. I don't know how I feel about those cars on Spa. Fuck. I'll be honest with you, I like these ranked races less than last week's. GT3 is absolutely boring, Fway. It's absolutely boring. Drive a car with no ABS, no TC, and a lot more power. That's fun. That's fun. GT3 is follow the best line. I know that probably pisses off a lot of people saying GT3 is boring, but it is. You're not going to convince me of that. Nobody is.
Enough for the podium, but we'll get there next time.
I'm sure in real life, they're fun. But this is not real life. Remember that. And that's the thing. The GT3 now is just the Porsche. So, like, just go race the Porsche. You know? All right, what else we got next? MX-5, nope. Rather watch TV. 992. Maybe. Revival. Spa. There's so many good tracks. Why we keep going on, like, the basic Me Too tracks, man. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to have some fun. Look at this. I want to drive GT and the NGTs. They're both on Spa, and I don't want to race on Spa. In hell, man. 1 Spa. 2, 3, 4 Spas. There's way too many tracks and too many renditions of tracks to have that many Spa races, in my opinion. I gotta figure out who is the one who actually, like, picks the ranked setups every week. And see if I can get a line with them for a bit more variety. Spa. I'm not a fan of Spa, believe it or not. Never ridden much of a fan of Spa. I like old school Spa when it was like a town. That was really cool. But Spa's a track, I don't know. In my opinion, it's really only fun for things like Group C or LMDH. You know, hypercar basically stuff. Slower cars on Spa to me is just a boring race. I'm one of those people that the cars need to match the track for it to be, like, entertaining. Yeah, dummies. Like I said, for all those people out there, I'll be at the expo next month. I can bring one of my bikes. We can touch them off on the street. I'm not going to do that. No one's going to do that. But we can. Show me your experience. I'm telling you, man, once people get personal... Cool. Let me go get the sledgehammer. Anyway, I think it's time for a G Fuel. I need to get more fired up. Giving out any swag. You can go to get swag on my website. Hold on. Let's see. I already... Oh, merch. Here we go. I don't even know what's in my Etsy store. I don't even know what's in my Etsy store. Oh, here we go. Women's. This will be the Sim Racer special right here. Oh, that's performance. Never mind. They don't know anything about that side of the business. I don't know if I've made any yet now that I thought I did. I could have swore there was EJR Racing merch. I'm gonna have to get on the wife. She was supposed to do this. Oh, it's probably some 3-year-old in China that makes my shit, if I'm being honest with you. It's all Etsy stuff. Trust the process. This quote came from, well, me. Basically, all the people that wanted to debate with me for years that were always fucking wrong. And it became a thing where people would say, just trust the process. Do what he says. You'll go fast. I feel like I have to fucking like boost my ego right now. That's what happens when people piss me off. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any of the EJR Racing shit. That's a bummer. I thought I did. I thought I fucking did. I have to shout out the wife. The podcast. This is going to be empty, right? Yeah. EJR cast. This used to be a thing. I deleted them all. I had over like 100. Oh, that's not linked anymore. Yeah, I got to get on my guy to, my website guy to update a lot of this stuff. Well, EJR cast, there's nothing there yet. Click here to trust the process. That bike is no longer green. Anyway. Todd Howard, it just works. Yeah, well, see, you actually have to prove the words. That's the thing. Technically, if you're going to get a shirt to race in, unless you're sim racing, the EJR Racing one would make more sense. Because that's my real racing business. EJR Racing is just the YouTube. So do I have an S4 shirt or P-Mart? No, I don't. But I was actually, I want to talk to Ryan about that. I want to see if I can get myself some Straight 4 merch so I can wear to the expo just to piss people off. Each of our 10-year-old. I would absolutely race you in the Focus ST. Absolutely. I think the goal should be to race in the Focus STs while eating a sandwich. Because there's a whole lot of waiting when it comes to racing those cars. I feel like you need to multitask. It'd be like multi-class racing, but multitask racing. What can I call you? 57 different names. Ed, Roe, forgot what the other one is. What's going on, Stu? Welcome to the party. What was I going to say? Gone. Gone. Oh. ST doesn't have heavy steering, Trev. Come on. I could drive that thing with 2 fingers. Come on. You might have a bad electric steering rack then. If that's the case. On average, I drive that car with my knee. Obviously not through turns. But I mean... does for a hatchback? Man, you need to drive a car with some wide front tires and no power steering of any kind. Where you need a fucking, like, a 500 millimeter wheel to actually turn it for leverage. Yeah, some of the, I would never want to drive anything like that, by the way. But I've had some friends that loved old school big block hot rods that just bigger carbs, bigger motors, take as much weight out of them as possible, power steerings for pussies, you know, and just turn those car around. Oh, it sucks. It sucks. All right, I'm making a G Fuel quick.
At the finish, just over 10 hours later, it's Moss who crosses the line to win in record time. Fangio comes second, and Malioli third, making Moss the first British driver ever to win this famous race.
All right. We got 5 minutes left. God damn. Taking so long. Like, all right, let me show you something here. All right, when I play LMU, I feel like these are my front tires. Oh yeah, Tweeter? It could be force feedback. That's the problem. It might not be the driving physics. It could be the force feedback delivery. I don't know. All I know is the entire front end of all the LMU cars feels fucking awful. The rear end isn't even the problem. I actually struggle to have rear grip more in this game than I do in LMU. In fact, I feel like LMU has far more rear tire grip than PMR. It's the front end that's a fucking problem. They might as well just put a plow on the front of every car. But it's realistic because it's popular and some YouTubers say so. Like, oh, I referenced this yesterday. Seriously, this is why you really, truly... Or not yesterday, Monday. And this is no hate on this dude. Again, this dude, from my understanding, drives real... or he's at least had the ability... opportunity, there's the word I'm looking for, to drive LMP3 cars. Right? He's a sim racer, and he's driven some LMP3s. So, he has more experience than me in LMP3 cars, right? So should I automatically look at him and go, well, he says LMU is dead accurate. Or not dead accurate, but he can't get over how accurate LMU is compared to the real thing, right? Should I just blindly believe him because he has driven an LMP3 car? Or should I investigate a little bit further? By that, I mean, let's just look at this here, right? So again, this is not me shading this person. I want you guys to understand why everything you see needs to be with a grain of salt. A big old grain of salt, because there's a financial bias involved with everything. This person primarily plays iRacing, and they're reviewing the 1.3 update for LMU, comparing LMP3 cars. Which, mind you, I have not driven the LMP3 cars since 1.3. I have not done that. I've only driven the GT3s and the LMDHs. Not all the LMDHs, and not all of the GT3s. But I've experienced the same bullshit I've kind of experienced since day one. But anyway, so his conclusion in this video is basically that the cars feel pretty realistic to him. He's actually quite surprised how realistic they feel, right? But further investigating into his description of the video, today we are checking out the latest Le Mans Ultimate 1.3 update with the new Barcelona and LMP3 to see how realistic the game is. Right under that, get the best LMU and iRacing setups. Use discount code Moritz10 for 10% off any subscription. And it's his affiliate link. These are the only games they have setups for. LMU, ACC, and iRacing. And I would make the argument that ACC drives the best of the three. And it never gets talked about that way. But the point is, it would be very easy to blindly go, yep, he's right, he's driven the car, LMU, he says LMU feels good, okay, LMU's perfect. But right in the description, there's a financial bias for him to lean into praising the game. So, he could be right, but grain of salt is my point. He's making money to push the game through setups. He gets paid to make setups. Only 6 people in this. This is what kills me. I could have jumped into GT3 and there had been 50 plus people signed up. These cars are fundamentally way more fun to drive. They drive way better. These are the only 6 people right now in the entirety of the world racing GTOs and PMR. That is a bummer. And coaching. Now again, he might be a fantastic driver in real life. He might know his shit in real life when it comes to racing cars. But the point of everything I just used right there on his own video was that grain of salt. He's making money off of promoting the games. That simple. Why do you think everybody calls everybody a shill when they defend something? Because they're emphasizing that they're being paid to say those things. I will say, Tweeter, I can actually agree with you right there. The new GT3s and AC Evo feel a lot better than LMU altogether. I think they're actually harder to drive, but they feel better. It reminds me of classic ACC, honestly, but better. I was actually pleasantly surprised how it felt. I got in the street cars, though, and they didn't feel very good. But that could just be... I doubt it, Jurassic. I doubt it. But it could be, you never know. How long it's been taking for them to make that game, I highly doubt it. Oh, we don't need the wipers on. But, yeah, I was a little kind of bummed out by the 288 GTO and the Countach, because one thing AC Evo has not got figured out yet is a good driving street car. The GT3s right now are driving really good. I was actually pleasantly surprised, and Sebring was very well optimized. I was like, oh wow, they fixed it. And then I went back to Watkins Glen, and they didn't fix it. They just made Sebring good. So, Watkins Glen in the game is bad. Like, I'll go from, 250 frames to 80, taking a turn. That was terrible. But no, I was, there's a couple things that are, like, here's the thing. In my opinion, the 0.6 update in Evo going in the right direction. Positive update. However, still not on my list of things I want to stream. Too many problems, too many things not quite ready yet. None of my telemetry works, which that's not that big a deal. But when every other game's telemetry works, and your AC fucking Evo, and yours doesn't, and you've been out a very long time. That game's been in early access for a long time. Oh, one thing I really liked about the Mustang GT3 in AC Evo, first time I've ever heard it. The intake noise that those Fords make. The induction sound, the brrrr sound. That was a terrible, terrible impression, I know. There's a certain oh no! That was my phone. There's a certain sound that the Coyotes and that entire platform makes. It's an induction sound that only the Fords make. I get very excited when a game nails a particular sound. Who can get first in my own host? This isn't a hosted race. This is ranked. I'm torturing myself doing shitty races. Yeah, maybe I'll jump into that quick and show you. I was debating making this stream a current state of AC Evo versus the current state of PMR, but I probably should have done that because I'm more in the mood to bitch than I am to competitively race. So it's easier and more comfortable to follow someone's opinion as long as it sounds reasonable and popular. If it still fail, it must be on me because the top guy said it is great. I mean, shit, politics. Do I have to say anything else? Everyone's guy is the best guy ever. And they all suck. Torturing yourself with ranked, you really are a masochist. You fucking know it, sir. Yeah, oil slick. It's the most genuine Coyote variant audio I've ever heard in a sim so far, or anything, any car game, period. There have been some pretty close ones. Like this one, it sounds good, but it doesn't, it's not a Coyote. Although let me look it up. Is it a flat plane? Or is it a standard firing order for the GT3? Mustang GT3 flat plane? Question mark. All right, this is Ford's official post about it. So it doesn't say that it's there's not honestly not a whole lot of information. It just says the Ford Mustang GT3 race car is ready to tear up the track with a Coyote engine-based 5.4-liter naturally aspirated V8 developed by Ford Performance. So it sounds like it's just a stroker Coyote. Could be bored, I guess, but it's most likely a stroker, if I had to guess. I don't know how big they can go on modern day not aluminum cylinder walls, but the Nicocell, where they got to re-sleeve them. Yeah, no. Crossplane is Yamaha. It's a flat plane. Slick. The Mustang, the GT350 is a flat plane. Mustang GT350 flat plane. Yeah, the Voodoo engine. Shelby GT350 features a unique 5.2-liter Voodoo naturally aspirated V8 engine utilizing a flat plane crankshaft. I will say, though,
You're on the front row, mate. Nice work.
after this race, I might get out of ranked. 'Cause I'm just not in the mood for it. I'm not in the mood to torture myself. As Sora said, I'm not really in the mood to be a masochist. But I might do some AI versus AI comparisons for the sake of it, you know? Because I will say, Evo's AI is dreadful. Oh, it's dreadful. The thing that sucks, too, is the AI is really bad, and there's no, you can't turn off damage right now. So if I want to get in and just kind of learn the driving of the cars and racing around the AI in the game, the AI is going to hit you immediately and total your car, and then you have to reset the race. That has been my entirety of experience in AC Evo to this point. trying to race the AI. In lap 1, I'm restarting the race, and I never make it out of lap 1 without damage. No matter how safe you try and drive. I don't even care about fuel. Fuck it. Let's just race.
Let's get in front. We can win this.
Forgot how to launch these cars. Of course, he's in the Audi, though. That's the meta car. I don't give a shit. I won't drive a meta car just for the sake of it being a meta car if I think it drives like ass. It doesn't drive like ass. It's just... It's a high-powered all-wheel drive car, and it's the only one in the class. It doesn't... I know it's a GTO car, but, like... This is where we draw, like you gotta figure out... Do you want to go for realism, or do you want a balanced class? Because they use realistic specs for these cars. Well, the problem with those realistic specs is, in some classes, it leads to a heavy unbalancing of the class. This class is highly unbalanced. I haven't tried the multiplayer yet, and in all honesty, until they give you a little checkbox for turning off damage, I don't have much interest. I don't trust other people to not ruin my experience. Ooh, I'd have to look that up, Sora, to give you honest information. For example, I already talked to a couple of the guys about buffing the IROC, or the Camaro, whatever. And they said it's... I think it was Doug, actually. It might have been Doug. I don't remember. Who said it's going by the class specs. And giving it the 100 horsepower it probably needs to compete with the rest of the class would make it inaccurate. So, in that regard, what do you do? You know? Right now, the Audi wins. The Audi's the car to use. I won't use it because I like the Cougar. I think it's got soul. But that Audi is, for this class, it's the car that everybody uses when they want to win. Wouldn't have been the fastest lap if he didn't spin out. Oh, there goes that lap. Jesus, stop looking at Chad, Evan. You maroon. In all honesty, this class doesn't need a lot of balancing. It just needs the Audi to get nerfed a little bit. In the most, like, authentic way possible. Honestly, I would nerf the Audi's overall acceleration. That's how I would do it. Don't touch the handling of it. Don't do anything like that. It's an all-wheel drive car. It's going to whole shot really good, but it should hit a wall in a straight line. That's where it should suffer. And the Camaro should either lose 300 pounds or gain 100 horsepower. And then it would fit the rest of the class. And then I would probably never drive this car again because I'd be all about a third-gen Camaro. I have no real-life, you know, give a shit about a Mercury Cougar. Third-gen Camaro, on the other hand, that's a different story. But I like the way this car drives. Personally, I'd like to see the Camaro get 100 horsepower rather than get a weight reduction. When did that happen, Harry? The Audi get a nerf. Did that happen as of this most recent update? Because it wasn't nerfed in 2.0.
You fastest lap. Great job.
I'm gonna have to drive it again. See how it feels. How did they nerf it? They pull power out of it? Or they just make it heavy? Or neither? I know I got 18s in this car. I don't know what I'm doing. I've done plenty of 18s in this thing, and I'm struggling to get one. I wonder if this is an example of the line actually slowing me down. Power feels down. Probably third right here. Nope. That is a second gear scenario all day. This car's got tall gearing. But more so than the Audi, I would like to see the Camaro get a buff, regardless. It's just, it's such a good real-life car, and it's just too slow for the class. Ah, small engine with a big turbo, got it. So a lot more like the Group 5 cars, like the Capri. Eagles, I'm still waiting for a big block in that Camaro. I'm just saying, like a big block. I want like 1,000 horsepower NA big block. Like a 9,000 RPM, 1,000 horsepower, NA big block. Give me some steam. Then again, I haven't driven Groups 5 since the turbo update. So I don't know what those are like now either. There's a lot of cars I haven't driven still since 2.0. I just tend to stick to what I like. Appreciate that, Holland Brown. I need all his speed. I don't have any of my own. This feels a little repetitive with nobody around me. I need to take the bike out. I really do. I need to disconnect from this digital space a little bit. It's very easy to get pulled down to someone's level when they talk shit. And, you know, normally things you would just completely ignore and let pass by. You know? I need to feel the real life dopamine hit of speed that you can't get in a video game. Like, I'm at a point where, like, can we stop talking about realism until I figure out how to get dopamine spikes to happen? Almost dying when going fast is the biggest dopamine spike I think you could ever experience. Because you've already got the adrenaline of the speed going, and then you almost just died, and you didn't. I guess I imagine it's probably comparable to like being in like a gunfight or something. The sensation of the adrenaline of it, then almost dying. I don't know. Not that I recommend going out there and almost dying. I don't recommend that at all. But when you get those butt pucker moments, and you were almost a bug on someone's windshield, all good until you actually die, exactly. Why I don't recommend trying it. I had one on the highway when I was 18 in my GTO. I learned the hard way why you don't wait to get new tires when you need tires. I had the threads or belts, whatever you want to call them, showing on the tires. And it was slightly damp outside. And I changed lanes with a little bit too much throttle at about 60 or 70 miles an hour or so. And I did like a 1080 on the highway. And it was like midday traffic, too, on the highway, on the main interstate. Somehow I spun around several times, ended up facing the right direction, Unlike every time in the fucking video games where I'm facing the wrong direction. But I'd only slowed down like 30 miles an hour. And nobody hit me. And I didn't hit anybody. I shouldn't say nobody hit me, but you never know. Way people are. But there was zero contact with any cars, and I was facing the right direction, and I only lost about 30 miles an hour. Needless to say, I got in the low speed lane real quick and got the fuck off the highway. And I got tires the next day. That was a moment. I've been lucky enough to... Well, I shouldn't say I'm really lucky enough. I haven't had too many of those moments in cars. That, like a completely uncontrolled area. Losing control like that. I've lost control plenty of times in a safe environment. But in a situation like that, no, absolutely not. Bikes, though, I've been in a lot of butt-pucker moments. A lot of moments. Happening in WS6. 0102. I just cannot find the that 18 right now. I gotta remember how to drive these cars. I used to be able to bang out 118s in these cars all the time. Unless they're new physics or new turbos or not turbos, it doesn't have a turbo.
Fantastic driving. You are the winner.
Yay! I am the winner! Oh, I just realized that's my first ranked win. Yay! I'm gonna celebrate by drinking some G Fuel and doing it again. Alright. Crazy phase is long. I don't blame you. I got a wife, but I don't have kids, and we don't have plan on having kids. So there. But I mean, either way, I don't want to die. So, not yet anyway. Look at this, though. Come on. 34 people registered. Bullshit. All right, let me real quick. Let me jump out of this, and I do want to show you the new Mustang GT3 because I'm actually very happy with that in AC Evo. Horror story sounds like happened to happen to you. Following a guy up to Killington around a right-hand corner, my car started going sideways. Another car coming the same way, and I didn't even bother hitting the brake. Got traction last second. George, that guy spun out in like lap 3. Oh, look at this. This is another reason why it's tough. I guarantee they already got a hotfix out. They fixing something. That's the one reason, too, why I don't... Like, I was going to stream this game today, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait a little bit. Because there's going to be like 5 or 6 hotfixes that come out inside the next week for this. But let's jump into it. Just because I want to show off the Mustang. Like I said, I got to give credit where credit is due always. There's a lot Evo needs to do. But the new Mustang GT3... I don't know enough about the 298 GTB to be able to like compare it, but the 5-liter and in general Coyote platform I know a lot about, so that's why I like to try and use it and compare and contrast. Like they have a lot to do with a lot of work to do with like loading shaders and shit. Like a lot of work to do. All right, so vehicles. Vehicle hub. Oh, never mind. This is not what I want. My cars. All. I've pretty much selected the cars that I like in this game. Although I haven't driven this car, it's just there. So weird. The audio for this game is coming through the TV. Not weird, it's just an incomplete game, but it is what it is. Audio. You think this would automatically go to default, but it doesn't. There we go. I don't know if the music in this game is also copyright, so I'm going to turn it off. Because it is an LMU. I'm telling you, there's a shit ton of recent negatives I can give LMU that piss me off. That people just blindly talk about it. The way that their business model is egregious and shit like that, and people just glaze it and love it. People love being abused. What's the disease where someone falls in love with their captor? Graphics in this game, Slick, are very, very good. The performance in this game is where the graphics become a problem. So, for example, we're not... Watkins Glen is broken. Stockholm Syndrome, yes, Sora, thank you. Watkins Glen is broken. I'll go from 300 frames to 80, to 40, to 30, out of nowhere, for no reason. Loading assets that just don't ever stay loaded. Sebring, on the other hand, we're going to jump on Sebring because they did a good job with Sebring. Sebring works. It works like you'd expect. Good frame rate. Everything's good. Let's see. Ideal line off. Yep. We're not going to do race. We're going to do a practice lap first because I want to drive the car a little bit. And the AI is... Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, anybody who wants to talk shit about PMR's AI, you really need to get on computer and play some other Sims. Because... Also, your steering wheel, by the way, if you're not holding it, when you load in, watch when I click drive. Let's see if it does it again. Oh, it didn't do it that time. We got lucky. Normally it snaps when the game loads, and then it'll snap again when you get in the car. That's a coyote. If anybody has any experience with a coyote, that's a coyote. I got. Listen, when companies execute sound, I gotta give them a credit. Sound guy at Kunos, well done. That is such a must. Oh my god, it's so good. Anybody ever driven a coyote? The intake sound they make. That, right there. See, here's the thing. Little framey right there, I noticed. Very framey. Let me check the graphics right now. I don't know what I last had them set to, but they shouldn't be framey. Should be pretty smooth. VSync being... See, this is another thing, too, that VSync in this game also creates problems. Now, it's wrong quality. Turn off VSync. See if VSync makes it go away. Because I'll get like 180 frames. But VSync will park it at 144, but I'll sit at like 110. VSync, like, breaks the game. It, like, unloads the GPU, and the GPU never reloads to, like, use it, you know? Oh! Also, this game, you feel the cold tires. Case in point. But here's the thing, though, right? Turn up TC. Now you can warm the tires up without crashing. you know, TC working the way TC should work. I mean, listen, I gotta give Kunos credit. This is already a better experience than all of LMU to me. I would say right now this track parallels PMR, like in terms of where the bumps are located and stuff. Obviously there's a few select bumps on Sebring that every sim has, because my guess is in real life they're really big bumps. But this very much, like if I were to compare this game, PMR, and LMU, this track feels more like PMR than LMU. LMU stands alone, and it's like its own tech. Whoop, whoop. LMU stands alone in its own texture. Too much speed. I suppose I could put the line on and see what the recommended line is in this game, but one thing I noticed though is that a lot of the car is savable. You know, I don't just start to lose the rear end and crash every time. You feel the rear end get loose, like for example, if I'm on the brakes, right? And I get on the brakes too hard, and the rear end starts to kind of come around. I can get off the brakes, and it stabilizes the rear end again. That's realistic. Here's the big bump here. Yep, always there. I'm telling you guys, this right here, what I'm doing, is better than all of LMU. I'm sorry, LMU fans. I'm sorry. From a driving experience... I spit everywhere. From a driving experience standpoint. I'm not reviewing the game, I'm not reviewing the online play or anything like that. I'm simply talking about driving a GT3 car around Sebring. I gotta get that turned down. I apparently cannot get that turned down. It does seem like they... Why do I keep spitting? First time talking, I guess. It does seem like they nerfed the ABS, though, in this game. Because in ACC, you would basically just rely on ABS to brake every time. You would stuff the brake, and ABS would do all the work. In this, you can use too much brake, even with ABS on. You'll lose the rear end of the car. The car will respond a bit more realistically. That was one gripe that a lot of people had with ACC, and myself included, was ABS was a lot more like Gran Turismo 7, where, you know, you're coming into a turn, let me try it here, and we just stuff the ABS. Car's not happy doing that. In ACC, the car just stops. It relied 100% all of the work gets done by the ABS. Where in this, you still can push the front end with too much braking with ABS on. It's just not a total lockup. This feels really good. I'm very happy with this. Which is going against the mold of AC Evo for me. I love the induction sound, man. That is a coyote sound through and through. How does the exhaust sound when you do that? Got a little bit of the coyote rumble, but it's hard to tell. I also would have to hear this car in real life. Obviously, this is a variant of the coyote motor, so it's not going to sound one for one like an actual street car. But the induction sound is one for one. That's so good. All right, let's try one other car. But so far, and I've been very harsh on AC Evo. Very, very harsh on AC Evo. So far, this 0.6 update has only introduced good things. I haven't driven... I'm a big fan of the Dallara EXP. Big fan of Dallara EXP. I can tell you that if I were to play AC Evo from now on, at least until they fix a lot of things, Sebring is going to be my default track. I think it's the best running track in the game so far, from a gameplay stable standpoint. Let's get in... This is what they also added today. This is the other GT3 they added today. Use the bathroom quick. The other wheel just snapped. Fucks off on its own. Game's not without its problems. It's definitely got them still. But it's improving. Catch up some of these comments here. Let's see. So... How dare I drive a Mustang kilometers? I have not set up everything in this game. I've barely got buttons bound. I mean, like I said, I've never had this car, but I've had pretty close to it. IRL. Not the 296, the Mustang. Like, the fuck is the picture, God damn it? Like, this is a Roadrunner motor. It's a variant of a Coyote motor. It's a 5-liter. This motor went 8,500 RPM. That same induction sound. It's the induction sound that is the specific thing that I'm talking about. That is spot on, one for one. But anyway, where'd that go? That's one thing I got to see if I can change that in the video settings. Hold on. Yeah, full screen. Let's see if I turn full screen off, what happens. Game breaks or not. Now, if I click over here, All right, so I think that works now. So basically, if whenever I would leave focus of the game, it would go back to the desktop. And that would drive me nuts. So taking off full screen stops that. So that's a token ACC trait. So glad that still works the same. All right, let's drive this car. Also, the wheel is car for car. If you disable wheel, the next car will have it. Ah, Turbsky sound. Tiny little cute little turbo sound when I shift. Little. Yeah, they did a good job with these GT3 editions. I'll say that. Did a really good job with them. It's easier to drive than the Mustang. I'm pushing pretty aggressively on relatively cold tires by compare. The Mustang would want to kill me. Maybe I'm also just in the, you know, bit more practiced up from the Mustang too, I suppose. Downshifts sound so good right now. I'm not surprised the Ferrari gets some extra love from Kunos. Not surprised at all in one bit. Stupid American car. Although they did it again. They did a good job with it, so I can't knock it. But this is definitely the better of the two cars. Definitely the better of the two cars, for sure. See the map, though? Slick. What I was saying? The entire track map. That's what I like. That I would use. I would leave that on screen for qualifying if we had a full map. But the like small little sector, like moving map or dynamic map, I should say, it doesn't really help much. So I don't use it. So Sora, are you still here? If you're still here, Sora, say you're not here. No. Perfect. Alright, see this is something that has been requested from a good amount of people, and I myself like it better. See the entire map on screen? Map of the track. It's not moving, it's not dynamic. Not localized. It's just showing you where you are. That is much more preferred over a specific localized map where the map is following just your arrow around. The arrow's not moving, like the way it is in PMR, basically. Because I don't need to know who's around me immediately. I need to know who's around me on the entire grid, you know? Or on the entire track, sorry. I'm not gonna lie, this car drives better than the Mustang. It does. Mustang drives good, but this car makes me want to drive a little bit more aggressively. And also excessively shift, because the downshifts sound good. Just a recommendation, Sora, because I turned my track map off. That's true. That's true, Harry. Maybe this car is just easier to drive. quite possible. It seems to be a standard. Or maybe... No, you know what? In iRacing, this car is easier to drive than the Mustang. Who knows is Italian, so I was thinking, well, maybe they're just doing some national pride with the Ferrari over the Ford. But iRacing, it's also like that too, so I would go ahead and say that this car just grips up a little bit better. It's really the front end. The front end feels a lot less understeery. I guess the rear end does. It feels less oversteery. Yeah, it just feels more gripped up, really. I'm also driving this like I got no ABS. I'm being real soft on the brakes because I'm used to no ABS cars right now. If you watch my brake indicator, it's barely moving. Stuff that bitch. But this feels like, again, I've never driven a GT3 car. I've driven a lot of different... I've never driven a GT3 car. I've driven a lot of different street cars, though. And the way TC works, and tuning ECUs, which I do professionally, the way TC works is you can make TC so sensitive you cannot spin the tires. You cannot crash the car. They will always intervene and stop you from overdriving the car. And you can obviously desensitize TC to the point where you just spin out nonstop. So this game, and it's something that LMU, I've had a complaint about LMU. I've made videos on it and I get made fun of because I'm slandering the mighty LMU. But like TC in that game does not work correctly. It's working correctly in this. When I am just stuffing the throttle and relying on TC to get me through turns that if I lowered my TC would spin me out. That's what TC does. It keeps you on the track. It keeps you alive. Whereas in LMU, you max out TC, doesn't save you, no matter what, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can make the argument that the people who program the ECU in those cars, they want you to die. They don't care about TC being effective. But at the end of the day, no matter who disagrees with you, the car's ECU is a lot smarter than you. It's a lot better of a driver. If you put an AI algorithm in the ECU, it could drive the car better than you. Max Verstappen is not going to defeat Skynet. Not going to happen. All right, let's try. I have not tried the GT4. Actually, no, let's jump into... this is... Again, these cars are in this list for a reason. I haven't driven this new the Rennsport Porsche yet. And I haven't driven the GT4 yet. I'll drive the Dallara EXP because this car on sound alone is why it's one of my favorites in this game. Yeah, the PMR map, realistically, it doesn't serve any real purpose, in my opinion. Because you can't even say it's good for re-entries because it doesn't have enough range. If someone's coming up on you at 100 to 200 or 100 to 150 miles per hour, and you can only see 100 feet down the road on the map, you can't pull out. You can't trust that. They're universal, Harry. There's a lot of them I don't know. Max ECU primarily, but primarily factory ECUs. But Max ECU, and I want to learn Motec next. But they're all universal. Haltech, Motec, AM, they're all universal. One you put on a car, you can put on a bike. God, this thing. Listen to this fucking car. There's a reason why this thing is in my list of favorites. Get the... Oh, don't early downshift. God, this thing is just awesome. Maybe that's why I like it, Sora. It doesn't spin very much RPM, though, I noticed. It only goes to, like, 6,800. What's that out on the limiter? Not even, like 65. Let me see. Well, I'm just going to bury it on the limiter in the straight and see what it... All right, 7,200. That's actually revving lower than the Mustang was. All right. But yeah, that sound right there is why that car's in my small, very, very... There's not a lot of cars in this game that I really like. It's these we're going to test out these two cars. Let's jump in this car next. I'm not a GT4 fan in general, so let's see how this feels. What's going on, Durden? Fuck the pit limiter, bitch. Out of my way. Oh. Feels GT4-ish. Oh, yeah. Yep, it's a GT4. It's a GT3, but does everything worse. Let me turn TC up here. I don't see anywhere on screen. Oh, you know why? Hold on. There it is. Oh, it's top... Okay, I see it. Top left corner. Got it. Top left corner. All right, TC's maxed. It definitely feels heavy, but it, you know, not for nothing, it feels like a GT4. GT4s are, honestly, guys, they're basically street cars. They're basically street cars with a little bit of a performance modification. They're not really anything crazy. GT3 cars start to get into race car, but even those are very, very parallel to like a really expensive street car turned race car. That's always been the biggest... Yes. GT4s are not my jam. They're not my jam. I'll save that for someone else to like. That's coming out of my favorites. Let's try this Rennsport. Haven't driven this Rennsport yet. No idea what this thing drives like. I don't even know what classic car this is, if I'm being honest with you. I guess it says GT3, so maybe it's that, I suppose. God. Unrestricted GT3, got it. Thank you. You can tell I do almost zero research about things. Yeah, it definitely feels straight line fast by comparison to the other GT3s. A lot of people do, Durden. I'm just not one of those guys. I do not like GT4s. Very unique Porsche sound. Very unique sound by comparison to just about everything else. All right, that's that one. Really, really, really liking the sound of this, but I'm hoping, see, because right now they've been making this game for a very long time, and it sounds like this game's not even remotely close to what they want it to be, which is why they eliminated the career mode, because they're aiming too high. But I'm really hoping street cars in this game is a lot more like Gran Turismo 7, where you can heavily modify the street cars. Because a car like this kind of sucks to race stock. It's an old street car. So unless you're going out for a leisurely drive, there's not a whole lot of push you can do with these things without killing yourself. So unless you can modify them with better tires, better suspension, potentially a wide body kit, although I would say that's not really necessary, but at the very least, good brakes, good suspension, and good tires, something, then I don't really care much for street cars. That being said, though, another good sounding car in this game. But look at that, look at it. Yeah, we're on cold tires, but like, the F2004 is so much fun in this. I love the F2004. It's so weird how it like grinds synchros when it shifts. I just don't know if that's the sound of maybe that's the sound of the rev limiter. Hold on. Watch this. Weird. Yeah, it just doesn't drive good. I mean, I guess it drives like an old street car. But there's not a lot of motivation for me to want to race it. You know? Like, I was really looking forward to this Countach. I love Countaches. Sounds a certain type of way. Yeah, it's because of licensing. They're pretty rough when it comes to licensing. I wouldn't license a Ferrari either. Even if I had the money, the choice, whatever, I wouldn't want to work with Ferrari. Yeah. These cars need to be modified to be fun for me. They're just heavy, slow boats that have no grip, no braking, no turning, no nothing. I get it if people like that stuff, cool, but like there's a shit ton of street cars in this game that just aren't fun to drive. Now, if they're modifiable, that's a different story. But right now, the street car stuff is just meh. It's just there. You know? But yeah. Jump in the F2004 quick. Just quick. Just because when I go back over to PMR, we have no chance of having any level of open wheel fun. And I love me some open wheels. Look at that AMD sponsorship, baby. I make the argument that this is what PMR needs more than anything else. Open fucking wheels. That's because I love open wheels, though. Old school open wheels, not the new shit. I'm driving this like it's a GT3. It wants to go faster. This thing's Ricky Bobby. It wants to go fast. Stabilize, bitch. Ah! Sora, do you think I have the skill set to mod? Do you think I have that ability? I am a nobody. Remember that. Instant 5-star mod, I agree. They have to do a good job, though. I've been pushing open wheel modding since the game came out. It's my favorite parts about AMS2 and Race Room. Open wheels. I love open wheels, but like I don't like F125. It's okay, it's fun, but I just don't like modern F1 cars. I like all the old shit. All the old stuff is where all the soul and the character is, you know? This new hybrid shit's just lame. It's faster, but it's lame. Anyway, alright. I was going to do that for Evo. Oh, wait, hold on. No. I want to do one more thing. One more thing with Evo, and then I want to compare it to PMR. Let's get back in the Mustang. Let's make it a race. Let's make the AI as slow as possible. Slow as possible. Not enough settings here. You need a lot more. Got a super clip. Opponent behavior safe. Can't change that? You can't, so all, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. You can't change their aggression. Just grayed out. Anyway, let's try that. You can also try heavy rain, but I have the feeling it's going to break the game. This game does have a lot of performance problems. So it's best to just keep things simple. Visually, they're doing great things. But unless they start to optimize those visuals, they're going to have to lean into turning some of that shit down, you know? This is another weird thing. You can't put the car in gear before the green. Look. Look at that line. Remember when PMR and the early reveal trailers were all people were all pissed off because the AI followed a direct line? Oh, he's just hitting me. He's just pushing into me. I got side damage now. On the inside. Let's take him on the inside. They're too slow right now. All right, let's try one more time, but with the AI at max. I'm just curious, see what the range is. That was 80%. Now they're at 100%. I feel like that range is either scaled wrong or they're not going to be much faster. But this whole not being able to put it in gear thing is so weird. A line. There's no deviation. It's just a line that and they're still slow. They're still god-awful slow. And the reason why there's mostly Mustangs is because there's not a lot of GT3s in this game yet. Where'd my brakes go right there? I had no brakes right there. Oh! See, you can't rely on the brakes. Can't rely on the ABS like you could in ACC. You hit the brakes too hard, even with ABS on, you can lose control of the car. Igor, this is AC Evo's update today, but I was just showing some samples of things. But I'm going back over to PMR now. But, I think I like the AI way better in PMR. There's no deviation, there's no sense of I'm racing something. Like that there, what you just saw, mind you, I crashed myself. That was max AI in the game right now. So, anybody who wants to complain about PMR's AI, there are bigger studios out there that have been doing it longer that are doing a worse job. Keep it apples to apples, getting the same car. Let's make them alien fast. Go 20 car grid, because that's what I had before. AI strength 100. Alright, let's see how the AI is now by comparison in PMR.
The track needs rubber
I gotta turn that map off. I can't. I'm sorry. I know people want it on there, but it does serves me no purpose. The map. What the fuck? When did I get in 4th gear? Oh, I know why. My shifter is in... Fucking idiot. When the hell did that happen? Like, why aren't I going anywhere? My shifter was in 3rd.
Okay, mate, we expect the group to
Try this again.
low out there at the moment. Track is green. Track is green.
I'm not gonna lie though, force feedback already does feel better. I immediately feel back at home. Tires are pre-warm right now, so I definitely have more grip lap 1. But see how the AI is deviating, they're doing things? I feel like I'm racing people right now. Even if they're sloppy, whatever. I don't feel like I'm just waiting to pass the next guy following a line, you know? I don't know how people have problems with this game, man. This game just feels good. I don't get it. I don't understand the drama, the bullshit, the lack of, oh, it's not realistic. Shut up. Just shut up. Now, like I said, I'm on pre-warm tires. So my tires are good to go lap 1, which is why I'm able to push so aggressively right here. Like, this game needs a lot. And even though it's missing some things that games like AC Evo have, AC Evo needs a lot more. Like, a lot more. I think they're both going to be really, really good games in the end. But I think they're both going to be better than LMU, unless LMU really expands what it offers. LMU's forever just going to be a one-trick pony. Even iRacing's not a one-trick pony. The sound of this car isn't bad, it's not far off, but it doesn't have the induction sound. If they got the induction sound that was just present in AC Evo in this, it's an old-fashioned dive bomb. That is still a problem. That is like the one thing that I don't like about the AI in PMR. The dive bomminess. That's it. Overall, the race quality is good. The corner dive bombing has been there since day one. And it can be a little annoying because it can just kick you out of the race. Just like sort of what just happened right there. Mind you, I braked early. I drove way too under the limit right there. But they didn't register the whole, hey, this guy is driving way under the limit, we have to slow down. But overall, the AI is a better experience. They just need to, like, I don't exactly know how it's programmed in this, but they need to program, like, their own, I guess, proximity to other cars, mainly the player, I guess, to where they drive a bit more cautiously inside a certain range of the player. I don't, like I said, I don't have any idea how that's actually programmed. But I'm just going based off of, like, the way they drive, I think is fine. Actually, I think it's really good. But it's that random dive bomb that the AI does. I mean, it simulates real players, I guess. But it's not a good feeling. Anyway. Get the idea. Mustang actually drives pretty good compared to the other cars that I'm used to driving. Maybe the Mustang will be my new GT3. Back at home. That's where I started. But the thing is, we can harp on ghost elimination all we want until the servers and our work better. It's never going to go away. There's a lot they need when it comes to that. There's a lot they need. Trust me, I would love to never have a go. This would be my ideal experience. Qualifying is solo. There's nobody on the track with you in solo. Complain about that all you want from a realism standpoint. That's how the other sims you're going to use to put this sim down, that's what they do. So you got to pick your battles. Are the better sims doing it right, or are they doing it wrong? You know, because in LMU, in iRacing, you're qualifying as a solo person. I don't want ghosting is better than what we've got, but I don't like it because you can't drive through car. Like, it's more realistic to me to be alone on a racetrack than it is to drive through cars. So, for me, solo and qualifying, and then the no ghosting thing will just come in time with polished netcode. There's really no other way around that. I understand that, racecraft. But guess what? I watch real racing sometimes and people die. Like, there has to be limitations to realism for quality of life. Whether people... If you wanted... Bottom line is this. If you wanted 100% realism, go race a car in real life. At the end of the day, you still have to lean into some video game-esque features to polish a good experience. The biggest reason, in my opinion, for being solo on track, even though in real life there's people on a track together, those people in real life have consequences and punishment to not letting people pass, to hitting people, to doing all real life things. In a video game, there's no consequence to being in somebody's way and qualifying. There's no consequence to crashing and causing someone else to slow down. There are zero consequences. So until people have real life consequences, there's never going to be fully real life driving. Which is why iRacing, why LMU. The iRacing and LMU right now are considered, whether you agree with it or not, the benchmarks of sim racing. And there's plenty that I disagree with both of those. However, the solo qualifying, I do not disagree with. It's about quality of life. Qualifying is not a race. Qualifying has never been a race. It's never going to be a race. Qualifying is to put down your talent as fast as you can, time trial style, to grid you up properly based off skill for the race. If you're just going to get stuck behind someone who's way off your pace and they won't let you pass, or they crash you and you can't put up a qualifying time, my personal experience in qualifying is to just not waste my time qualifying. I'd rather sit in the pits, start in last place, and drive through all the idiots that crash themselves. Just be patient, drive safe. So for me, and a lot of people, the better qualifying experience is solo on the grid. But I am only one voice. Yeah, in real life, there's common sense, there's etiquette, there's also the fear of death, which is massively slept on when it comes to this sim racing shit. Everybody thinks that they're Max Verstappen in a video game because they have a fast lap time. But you have no idea what would happen in real life when you are presented with the fear factor. Being scared of dying is a very, very, very powerful thing. What makes guys like Max Verstappen so fat? This keeps locking up on the screen still. I'm going to stick for a second here, and then it's going to unlock. What makes guys like Max Verstappen so deadly on a track is that they have very minimal fear. They're able to push when other people would go, I'm not going to do that. Obviously, there's a big talent percentage in there too, but they're all talented. Everybody in F1 is massively fucking talented. But Max Verstappen has much bigger balls. And you cannot simulate fear and how big your balls are in a sim. And that is the number one thing that pushes pace in real life. Being scared of going a little bit faster than you think you should in a corner. Rolling off because you know in real life, once you go past that limit, and if you can't control it, you could die. And on the other chance, you're going to cost your team a lot of fucking money. JC, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. Yes, Slick Race Room does that. You only have to qualify once for the race. Forever. Not forever, but for that week. Whether people like that or not, I don't know. I don't really care. I'd like it because I'm lazy. If I know I got a good quali lap, cool. That'll sit. That's where I'm going to qualify all week. Use the bathroom quick. So there's the other way to do it, which is what was the debate in Discord the other day, was the other option is holding people's hands, not taking away anything in qualifying, meaning everybody is on the track the way it would be in real life. And there is a punishment system, and there is a solid explanation of what the point of qualifying is. Qualifying is not a race. You are not there to race. If I know damn well someone behind me has a faster pace than me, and I'm holding them back, I'm going to move over and give them space to pass and lift out of the throttle if I have to. But nobody does that. Nobody does that. Oh shit, cold tires. Those pre-warms are holding my hand a little bit. I'm only doing this, believe it or not, to know how much fuel I need to put in the car. I probably could have asked chat, because they probably already know, but... I do agree with Oil Slick on this one. I don't like ghosting at all, in any form. I understand why it's the way it is in this game, right? Oh shit, that's right. We're not no short track today. I understand why it is the way it is right now. It's a server-related thing. It's to mitigate really, really problematic collisions. So I get it. And it's what it needs to be right now. I would like to see it go away in the long run, but I don't want ghosting in any form. I want punishment for people being assholes. I want there to be a differentiator between the person doing the ramming and the person getting rammed.
You've got 5 minutes left.
Like, if someone hits me off track, the only thing I want to happen is be a track limit. And it be like a no further, whatever. No further action required. Someone hit you off the track. But then they get a timed penalty. And depending on the severity of it, would be depending on how much that penalty actually is. But if people get ghosted, they just drive through you. If someone knows they can abuse ghosting, and they have more pace than you, they're going to drive through you every time. Why do you think the expression, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, exists? Because human beings naturally want an advantage. They want to cheat. Humans will all tell you they want an equal playing field. They don't want an equal playing field. They want it to be favor them so they can win. Always. As soon as they know they got an advantage, they're going to abuse it. They're going to abuse it. What I do think there needs to be a track limit. I think it's more of a timer. It's because, like, so far, what in my experience with PMR, it feels like the track limits is built on a timer. So if you get too many track limits too soon together, you get an actual penalty. Time penalty, whatever it is. Whereas, if I get the same amount of track limits in one lap versus the same amount of track limits the entire race, I might never get a timed penalty the entire race if I spread it out. In my opinion, I think they should get rid of the timer and just give you a hard penalty, but have a tracking system so you know where you stand in that situation. Like, oh shit, I've got 2 track limits. My next one is going to give me a penalty for a set amount of time. I need to maybe back off on my aggression and try and stay within the limits a little bit better. Just something for, like, the driver to manage his own sort of penalty system, essentially. You know? Because I also, the timer doesn't work all, the actual penalty timer doesn't work all the time. But, like, if you think about it, like, if you can create a penalty system visibly so that the person playing can manage their own penalty system, by that I mean, okay, let's just say, I don't know what the numbers are, but let's just say 3 track limits give you a penalty in one lap. Whatever that timer is, I don't know. This is all hypothetical. Let's say 1 lap on Donington, for example. In that time, so less than a minute and a half, whatever. You get 3 track limits, you get a penalty. Well, I know, okay, I've got 2 track limits so far. If I get a third one, I'm going to get a penalty. I need to back off a little bit until I at least clear this lap. You know? But obviously it can't be lap to lap to lap to lap, because then people will find a way to abuse that. But there has to be some process so that they can micromanage themselves. And it not feel like, because right now, I don't have an issue with the track limits where they are. I really don't. Everybody keeps complaining about them. As long as they're in the same fucking spot, I don't give a shit. I have no complaints about the actual track limits. Learn them if they piss you off. That's the reality of it. However, the penalty system is where I have a problem. It feels random. I feel like, shit, I got a limit. Am I going to get a no further action required? Am I going to get a warning? Am I going to get a time penalty? I don't know. They all feel the same. My driving doesn't seem like it. Whereas if they just made it counter, like you said, 3 limits in X amount of time is a penalty, or 2 limits in X amount of time is a penalty, whatever. I personally like the 3 in X amount of time simply because it's got a 3 strikes you're out limit, but again, I don't know how much I'm deviating from real life on that. But point is that if you have a counter and a timer to where you know that that counter is going to reset, or even the timer doesn't even have to be shown, it could just back your counter down. So like, let's just say it's a progressing counter. So it goes 1, second track limit's 2, and after a certain amount of time, it drops back down to 1, and then 0 again, and then goes back to 1, and then when you get to 3, you get a hard penalty that is whatever the timer penalty is determined. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second, whatever. But something for the driver to feel like they are somewhat in control of their own, giving themselves penalties, and be like, okay, I need to back it off a little bit. Agreed, in real life your warnings don't go away, so whatever IMSA rules then are, but either way, something in place to make it not feel random, and you can count something, you know? And everything I'm saying by the way, is just ideas. Not saying I'm all for these things, but I'm giving ideas, maybe piggyback off of, change to, something. Point is, there needs to be some form of structure to the penalty system to where the driver can manage them, can micromanage themselves, and it feel like they are, because like, okay, I have to slow down my pace a little bit in order to, you know, actually, I didn't even, the whole point of me doing that 1 lap was to know how much. Got 6 laps. Yeah, and that's another thing too, the ghosting. The ghosting right now, it has to do with ping, Mike. The higher your, like, it's not just like an on-off switch, the ghosting. Sometimes you can ghost through people, but you can take damage. Other times you can drive inside and out of people and you'll never take damage. It all has to do with ping.
Let's get a good launch. Focus on those lights.
Like I said, qualifying feels pointless. Like this right here. These guys would be hitting each other, but they're driving through each other nonstop. Oh, now I know that he's the guy I can hit. What the? Like this scenario right there. What are you doing, bro? This Mosey dude. What the fuck are you doing? He's just staying on the throttle, pushing me off the track. Fucking stupidity, man. Guy in front of me braking way too early. Guy behind me just driving through me. Fucking zero racing etiquette, zero of anything of any kind. It's just randomized bullshit. That's why I make my own lobbies. The devs aren't going to give up on it. I don't see it. The only way the devs are giving up on this game is if somehow upper management or publisher pulls the rug out from underneath them. But the actual guys doing the work on this game are not going to give up on the game. 100%. I assure you, they care far more about this game than anybody playing it. I promise you that. Think you're done? I don't blame you if you would be, in all fairness. I'm done. I'm done with that fucking Discord, that's for goddamn sure. That Discord can go fuck itself. Bunch of fucking crybaby know-it-alls in there. Put that on record too, you can quote me and put it on a fucking t-shirt. Fuck that Discord. That being said, though, still love the game. Just fuck the Discord. I mean, I love Discord as a program. But whenever Discord became like a social media, that's where I've had an issue with it. That's why I have zero tolerance for any level of drama in my own personal Discord. If you want to have drama with someone, DM them, but do not bring it publicly. I will absolutely swing the shit out of Milner in my Discord. Get the fuck out with your drama. Bye. You don't got to be part of this party. And disagreeing is not a bannable offense, by the way. However, taking personal shots at someone for no real fucking reason because you can't have a proper debate, that's a bannable offense. Get the fuck out, loser. Proximity chat. Oh, you know I'm all about my proximity chat. I'd love to be taunting this guy in the Porsche right now. Get out of my way! I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Although I don't think I'm actually gonna get this guy because
Put the car ahead under pressure.
the only time I have any pace on this guy is in an area where I really can't pass, so... I mean, I could pass by just doing the typical, you know, ranked ramming technique, but
this lap for fuel.
Braked way too early there. Oh. No, that's bullshit.
You've got to give
That is bullshit right there, Sora. That is bullshit.
the racing line.
That was my first fucking track limit. Porsche's just fucking faster.
Been given a penalty for track limits. What's done is done. Get your head down, keep pushing.
That is bullshit. I don't know if that penalty actually came into effect, though. Oh, it did. 3 seconds.
Well done, mate. That's a point finish. Nice.
Luckily, it did. I don't think it affected the race. But that's bullshit. That was my first track limit, Sora. First one. 0 warning, nothing, nada. Like I said, there's no there needs to be some form of like penalty system communication with the driver to know. Oh. I'll just go fuck myself, I guess. See, Sora went ahead and just pulled the rug out from underneath me there. I got banned. I got booted. I caught the boot. See, this is the thing, though, right? I got a penalty right there, regardless of whether we think it's accurate or not. I got a penalty there, but when all the ramrodders hit me off the track multiple times, 0 penalties for any of that shit.
And here comes Moss, well out in front with the lead.
We're gonna fucking do it again, motherfuckers. We're gonna keep on doing this shit. It does suck, though, that I had better entry speed and exit speed in that last chicane right there around that Porsche, and the Porsche just shut it down because it's faster.
At the finish, just over 10 hours later, it's Moss.
It really does suck how fast that Porsche is right now because it's like having to use a Metacar always blows.
Fangio comes second, and Malioni third, making Moss the first British driver
I might have got points.
in this famous race.
It said I did. It said I got 4th, which was points for, sub 10, but it doesn't work. I mean, listen, I love this game, but I'm gonna still talk shit about the game when I feel necessary. But I love the game. I got you, Sora. You want my log for that crash? Because that was I don't get crash to desktops very often. Like, super rare, actually, so. In fact, I'm just going to send it to you whether you want it or not. Incoming lines of code. 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 Not Coke. Code. Problem with that little Smurf is there's not enough people doing that. I mean, there's not enough people playing the game to lock it down region-wise. I forgot where crash dumps are again.
Fangio comes second.
Exact.
Malioni third, making Master
Stop skipping, mouse, bitch.
win this famous race.
Where's local app data again? Sora! Users. App data. There we go. There we go. Got it. I got it. I figured it out myself, Sora. This guy. This fucking guy. I always forget where crash dumps go because I don't often have crashes. The PMR thing. See? I'll fire right back at you. Right back at you. I might have taken over as the #1 spot for you watching and learning about the game. I mean, I appreciate that, but I don't know how much I could teach you. Yeah, that was, I haven't had any disconnects yet. That was a hard crash to desktop after the race when I was reloading the ranked choices. So need me a gold, unblack, slate black, S4, t-shirt. Thinking about it. Howling Brown, do you watch Dr. Disrespect? The way you worded that about the S4 shirt tells me you do. That doesn't look like 4 tires. Close, but it doesn't look like 4 tires. I pull back. Trying to see the rear view. Hard to tell. Very hard to tell. Trying to go by the rear view. I cut in, and then I realize I'm cutting too much, and I back off. Right there, if I go straight, I'm 100% earning that penalty, earning all 4 tires out. But I cut back. I need to be able to do this frame by frame. Too hard to do this on YouTube. I need to record the video and then go frame by frame. If you pay attention to where the line is, I don't deviate off the line very hard right there. I cut in and then right back. I do not gain time from that either. I cut in, back out. Cut in, back out. I still disagree. I still disagree with that penalty. Track limit warning? Sure. That I agree with. Track limit full-blown 3-second penalty? I disagree with. Especially since I had 0 track limit warnings before. You can use an... Oh, period. Okay, let me try that then. So I can get that. Got it. Look at that, Sora. You're so smart, Sora. You're so smart. I've already got it. What am I doing? I haven't gotten the penalty yet. Oh my god, it's so far away. And see right here over my hood, if I go straight right here, 100% this is a penalty. The question is, did he get a penalty too? Because look where his car is right now. He's 100% all 4 tires over. I cut back. My, fun fact, if we're going by the rear camera, my rear left tire has not gone off the track yet. Unless this camera is weirdly positioned and it's way behind the car. But looking at this, my rear tire has... I don't even know where this tire is yet. This tire could be off the track. It could be coming back on the track. It's hard to tell. The point is, I'm going by when it gave me the penalty. So by the rear camera, it does look like there's definitely all 4 tires out. Based off the rear camera. At the same time, I don't know. This front, because by the time, I'd say probably all 4 went out. Let's look at our time now. So I'm down... I slowed down. Me hitting that track limit, regardless of the limitation or not, if you look at my Delta, when I make that move, I lose time. I'm in favor of that being a track limit warning, but that's just me. That's just me. I don't necessarily disagree with that being all 4 tires out. By looking based off camera, I can see where, like, I just can't see enough information. So I would say I earned the track limit for sure. But I don't agree with that time penalty. Not since I hadn't gotten any limits previously, outside of, I guess, maybe the ones where someone punted me off the track. But gotcha. Well, yeah, like I said, I don't much care about the track limit locations. That doesn't seem, because that, as long as they're always in the same spot, whether they're dead accurate or not, it's what it is, you know? As long as they're consistent, that's fine. It's the penalty system that feels like flipping a coin, essentially, you know? Oh, everything about this game is 10 times better than it was. Everything. And then some. There's nothing about this game that's even comparable to the way it once was on launch and stuff. But that doesn't mean it doesn't need more work in certain areas. Like I said, right now my only issue with the AI is I think they need a bit more proximity, understanding of where the player is. And I know they've had it good before, because there were people complaining that the AI would always back off when they were near you. I'm sorry, but that's the way it should be. That's etiquette. If you are going slower than the AI and you are going into a corner and you think or you are slower than the AI's approach, the AI should see you and go, I gotta lose my pace to not hit that person, because that's real racing. When I saw people complaining about that, I've never been so frustrated with this whole making a video game thing before. The AI just avoids you when you get near them. Fucking yeah! Yeah! They should! No, real people should just let you plow into them whenever they could possibly avoid it. It's so... What would... In chat, real quick, what would annoy you more racing the AI? If they avoided contact with you, or they hit you? And they just didn't care where you were, they would just hit you. Right now, in my opinion, the AI is a bit too... I think the driving of the AI is actually really good. There's a couple tweaks here and there that I think need to get changed, but nothing that's, like, annoying and, like, painful. The random dive bombs, though, are what's, like, that just shouldn't happen. Like, when I'm coming into like, on a hairpin turn on Sebring, 90-degree hairpin turn going right, and my approach is a little bit slower than the AI just punts me off the road. They should absolutely be programmed to obstacle avoid the player right there. And if that loses their pace, that loses their pace, because that's real racing. I will say, though, visually, the game looks great. The one thing that still is there that just needs work. And honestly, if they ran these... I noticed they run all average temperatures. I wish they ran hot. Hot would give you a nice blue sky and you wouldn't see any of the clouds that are, you know, lower res. Like my one last, like, major gripe. Like, look at that right there, that part. My one last major gripe about this game visually are the low-resolution clouds. And I know they're working on it, so I'm not sitting here trying to harp and bitch and complain, but I just know that if this was set to hot air instead of average air, all those clouds would be gone. It'd be a nice, beautiful blue sky. That's why I run a lot of my lobbies for visual appeal too. So I do hot climate instead of average. Get rid of the bugs in the sky. Yeah, it's all about balance, Slick. It's about trying to please most people rather than a small niche of people, you know? It's not easy to do, and I'm not saying I could definitely do it. I'm just regurgitating my opinions on things. Six Porsches, 3 Mercedes, 2 Mustangs, 1 Audi, and 1 BMW. And 2 of them are DQ'd. I don't know if that means they're in or out of the race, but...
Bad luck, mate. We didn't set a time. We're at the back for the race. Gonna be a tough one.
Feeling like giving up on the vet or the particular race? My opinion, when you drive the C5R, the C6R, it puts almost all the driving and everything else to shame. What was it again? 3.5 gallons I had? Not gonna fucking matter. Not gonna matter. My pace isn't good enough for the fuel to matter.
Come on, mate. Nail this start.
You literally have to, like, drive around them and avoid them because no one's looking at their radar. I've never understood the amount of people that wanted radar in this game and don't fucking look at it. Oh, no further action at least. Fuck! I still like the AMG better. This car is still a bit wishy-washy. AMG just feels so planted to me. We meet again, Mr. R8. Oh, I can't seem to find a safe place to pass. Sorry, that's on me. My bad. I don't know why he brakes so soon.
Final lap. Stay sharp. Keep it on the island.
Fuck! I'm done with ranked. I'm done with ranked. I can't do it. I'm not built for it. Not built for ranked. I mean, he did brake super early. Like, super, super early. But it's still on me to not hit him. Fuck, man! That was an easy pole, too. God fucking damn it.
Finishing the point.
Oh, good thing is that I got him on penalties. Got him on penalties. Sucks that I let the Porsche go by, though, when I hit him. Because I slowed down to not take advantage of that, so I'd let him get up back out in front of me after hitting him. And then the Porsche squeezed in there and took a position. I agree, this race is way too short. I don't know who programmed this one, but they, like, cut quali down. Like, or just remove quali. This is an EJR race here, 6 laps. Yeah, there you go, Sora. Either way, it's not beneficial for PMR. The PMR problem at the source. Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense that the GT Pro Cup has 8 laps on Spa, and Derby has 6 laps, and it's the short track too. Actually, no, Sora. See, according to you, he didn't gain time from punting him off the track like that, because I put him in the weeds. He didn't gain time from that at all. Because I slowed down quite a bit on that lap, hitting him, to let him stay in front of me. So he didn't gain time. So if he got a penalty from me punting him, that's once again bad penalties. I'm just absolving myself of all the guilt here, Sora, and putting it all on you. John, your lap. It's your plate of bullshit. I don't want any of it. I guess we'll just do this race, because I don't want to do Spa. Truly. Don't want to do Spa. And everything else is on too much of a rotation, so... Unless we want to do... no, we're already at 2:30. I don't think I ever said the penalties were good. It's true. That's true. That's a good point. Just so they know who's ramming them. EJR being the guy who scoops his dog poop and throws... Hey, if it didn't come from my fucking dog... I went that entire race, all 6 minutes of it, without avoiding people actively avoiding every single contact. And I bumped one guy in the end. And he braked way too soon. And I was trying to anticipate an overtake on that chicane. Yell at me all you want. Yeah, I've got a few of them. I got some vet ones, too. I have some streetcar liveries on the way. I can't wait for the Jetstream Blue ZR1 livery. Yeah, I mean, I do agree, Slick. In that case there, he just didn't have a very fast pace. Very early breaker on it. That's why I caught back. That's why I left the track, and he left me for dead. And then inside of 2 laps, I got right back on his bumper again. And I'm not that great of a driver, so my pace is average. That's just inexperience. Is why he brakes so early. But not for nothing. I mean, he's braking early for the line, too. I only braked based off of the line's braking zone. You could likely go a little bit deeper on that, too. This was made by Alex Zolleri? Can't remember his name. I always mess his name up. He's an Italian guy. These other liveries were made by Rally. I had him do 4 of them because they were essentially just delete all of the livery and just do a nice clean paint job with my name on the banner. You find the picture. Did a good job, though. The biggest thing is he did it quickly. That's my sort of thing. I'm impatient. Like, I will give you the money you require immediately. I have no problem with paying more than it's worth. This is the ZR1 livery, the Jetstream Blue ZR1. This one's not in the mod hub yet. I have it in this game. In fact, I can just show you. That's good to see. Look how much better that looks, Sora. Look how much better that looks. So this is the ZR1 Jetstream Blue one I had done. I have them in my computer, but they're not in the mod hub yet. Need a VPN livery. I've also got it in gray, too. I like the blue one, though. This is going to be the one I rock all the time. I'm a huge fan of the Jetstream Blue ZR1. One of my favorite vets. Hold on. Jetstream Blue ZR1. And then, of course, I did some, or I had done some of my favorite Evo car. I did even though this is clearly not anything remotely even resembling a street car, but street car livery, blue. That's the same blue as the this car, just without all of the sponsorship. Ricky Bobby style, just my name on the windshield. Oh, and on the wing too. It's hard to see. And then also in gray. The gray one looks pretty good. I think the gray on this car looks better than the ZR1. Or the Z06. Or the, Jesus, C6R. But, yeah, I want to have a bunch of streetcar liveries made. Because they're super easy to make. No, you just remove all the sponsorship. You know, because again, that's where I come from, streetcars. So, for me, it's relative. And then I have these as well. Although this one has to get edited. It has to get fixed. The windshield's not there. And this valence is supposed to be carbon. Or the splitter, sorry, is supposed to be carbon and it's gray. But the windshield's not there. Anyway, this is the black version of it. This is the official Simagic one. This one seems pretty popular. Gray one, not so much. But this one seems pretty popular. And then I had the Mercedes one done because I like driving the Mercedes the best. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The amount of complaints you get it. Dude, no matter what you do, Sora, you're going to get complaints. Shit, look how much I bitch, and I love the game. So, Fue, of those liveries, the streetcar ones, which do you like the best? I like the Jetstream Blue ZR1, and then probably the gray Evo car. Number 1 on the poll is better punishments for bad driving. Number 2 is all the above. This is also going to be my last race, folks. I have to get off here and go eat some lunch. And then we'll be back on tonight for some custom lobbies. 11 o'clock, though, tonight. Not jumping on early. Like the Blue Evo? Nice. Yeah. 11 o'clock tonight. Not jumping on early. Every time I jump on early, no one plays till like it's later anyway, so. Jurassic Park livery up all your cars. Nice. Yeah. GT7's got a lot of livery love. But hey, look on the bright side, though, guys. If you go and, buy LMU, you can have custom liveries as well. Oh, no. Sorry. I apologize. That's locked behind a paywall subscription. Never mind. It's amazing the amount of things people will ignore and praise. No accountability, no nothing. Greatest game ever. Oh, I don't care if they're, murdering people. Obviously, they're not doing that, but you know what I mean. Same shit. Tribalism. My team can do no wrong because they're my team. Uh-huh. Except for all of the things they're doing wrong. But sure. But sure. All right. Let's go. But, like, it's always funny, though. It's like, oh, you should just go play this. Play LMU. Don't do this. It's like, I would just rather watch TV. Like, if we're being honest, if, like, every sim sucked and all I had was LMU, I would just go do something else. I'm not going to do something because it's other people like it and it's all I've got. I'll just do something else. I don't know why that's such a weird take for people. I don't get it. Uh-oh. Oh, he's gone. Temporary. Good thing about a race this short, you'll be able to get, if you do good consistently, you're able to get your rank up pretty quickly. You're also able to drop it pretty quickly too, but the point is you can move it around. It's such an adjustment for me to have to go right here. I'm so used to going left. Donington Devil. Interesting.
5 minutes remaining in the session.
No point. In traffic now. There's no point in continuing to qualify. We're just going to sit around and wait. Oh, solo quali. Solo quali. Please, solo quali. Yeah, this is another thing, too. I want to talk about real quick. With audio and realism, people don't realize how bad things actually sound in real life, in a real situation. So, for example, where is it? Right here. This is what a Ducati V4R sound, or V4 sounds like, sorry. And this is what that same bike sounds like. Not that particular bike, but the same kind of bike sounds like in real life in what would be cockpit cam. Sounds like poop. Sounds like poop. You put the camera right behind the exhaust, though, it sounds pretty gnarly. It entirely depends on the bike, though. Horsepower fills in those gaps. When you make a lot of power, Loud exhaust don't sound bad anymore. 600s, they sound like complete piles of shit. Because they don't make any power. I can assure you that 270 horsepower sounds a lot better coming out of an exhaust pipe than 115.
That didn't go away today. Let's try and limit the damage.
The funny thing is the Boost actually does have a long muffler. It's just got a big core. Like diameter core, I mean. There's no way to make that bike quiet, though. Put a stock exhaust on that motor, it ain't gonna shut it up. Alright, race time. Make sure this takes the same amount of fuel. It does. Can't wait till my new keyboard tray comes in. I prematurely removed mine and now I have to put it on the floor. First world problems. Alright, let's get some music rolling. Alright. Wally in 11th. Slow as fuck. This class is too sweaty for me. I'm gonna stick to starting in the back. Bro, just get in your car. Just get in your car, bro. Thank you.
Okay, mate, you can do this. Let's stay out of trouble in the first few corners. No heroics out there.
I didn't think he was going to go wide, and he did. Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Fuck me, right? I hate ranked racing, man. People drive like such cunts. Anything for a position, even if it means that. Fuck this. Fuck this. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Fuck that. I'm good. I don't got the patience for that shit. Turn 1, turn 2, death. Because, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'd rather do anything else but just do fucking 6 solo laps in a car that I don't want to do on a track that I don't want to be on. I'm good. Yeah, so that's it. I'm done. So I'm going to do some custom lobbies tonight. I'm staying away from ranked for a while. I have no interest in it. In any game, in this game's defense, I have no interest in the way people play in ranked racing. It just takes all the fun out of it. So I am going to stick to custom lobbies and exploratory gaming, comparisons, stuff like that. But this ranked shit, that's not fun. I don't really have any real interest in it. That being said, folks, I'll see you all tonight at 11 o'clock. Until then, y'all have a good day and, you know, do whatever it is y'all do during the day. Have a good one.